For this video, what I want to do is help you to identify a type 1 and type 2 error in a given situation. So what we have here is the USDA limit for salmonella contamination for chicken is 20%. Levels above this are deemed unsafe. Interpret type 1 and type 2 errors for this situation. So if you were going to do a hypothesis test for this, the first thing that you would want to do is set up the null and the alternative hypotheses. And so basically the way that we would set this up is that we would say that if the proportion is greater than 20%, then this would be deemed unsafe. If the levels are less than or equal to 20%, they would be deemed safe. I don't have all of the criteria that I would need right here to be able to actually run the test. The purpose of this is only to show what would happen in order to run into a type 1 or a type 2 error. So remember, a type 1 error is rejecting the null hypothesis when the null is actually true. Okay, so basically the way that we would interpret this in context of the problem is we would have to reject the null hypothesis, which means that our evidence pointed towards the alternative. Okay, so a type 1 error would be saying the chicken is unsafe when the levels are actually safe. Okay, so in a type 1 situation here, what would probably happen is you would have a food safety expert that would be testing the chicken. They would reach the conclusion that the chicken was unsafe based on the sample that they had used, and most likely before throwing away all the chicken, they'll probably test more samples to see if it really is unsafe, because a lot of times when the chicken company is told that they have to scrap a lot of things, that loses the money, and so they're going to continue to test. They're not going to just right away throw everything away based on one sample. They will test for more, and then if they find another sample that's unsafe, they would realize that it really is unsafe, that they do have to dispose of it. Okay, so typically a type 1 error will be caught with further testing because they'll go back and retest again. Okay, so let's talk about a type 2 error. A type 2 error is we fail to reject. Remember, those are the only conclusions we can make, is either reject the null or fail to reject the null. Okay, so this time it's saying that it looks like our levels are safe. So we're failing to reject the null hypothesis when it is actually false. Okay, so what we're saying here is that the chicken appears safe we go ahead and package it up and send it out for production and send it out for people to buy at the stores. But when in actuality, so the chicken appears safe, we deem it safe, but it is really unsafe. Okay, and most of the time, if they find that the chicken is safe, they're going to go ahead and sell it. They're not going to continue to test. They're just going to sell it out there. The chicken looks good. The salmonella levels are good. They'll send it out to the store. And then what could happen is you could have a food poisoning epidemic where people get really sick and could potentially die from it. You know that food poisoning is something that happens all the time. All the time we hear about recalls, and it's because of situations like this. The company made a type 2 error. They thought that the chicken was safe to send out, when in actuality it was unsafe to eat. The salmonella levels were too high, and food poisoning occurred from selling that chicken. So hopefully this helps to clear up what a type 1 and type 2 error is for you. Remember, type 1 is when we reject the null when the null is actually true and we shouldn't have rejected. And a type 2 is we fail to reject the null when it is actually false. And almost always the type 2 tends to be more severe because with type 1 we typically catch it when we do further testing. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are additional topics you need me to cover, please let me know that as well.